There comes a moment, after the silence, after the wait, when something begins to move again inside you. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's small, fragile even. But it's there, a spark. Maybe it comes when you see a sunrise that feels different somehow. Or when an old song plays and it stirs something you thought was gone. Maybe it's in the laughter of a grandchild, the smell of the rain, or the sudden memory of who you once dreamed of becoming. Whatever form it takes, that spark is your reminder. You are still alive, and being alive means that possibility still exists. You see, there's a difference between existing and living. Existing is moving through days on autopilot. Same routines, same thoughts, same hesitations. Living is what happens when you choose to wake up inside your own life again. And the truth is, you've spent years existing for others, being what everyone needed you to be, the provider, the caregiver, the steady one, the strong one. But deep down, there's always been more. That more is not a new job or a bigger house or another title. It's something quieter, deeper, something that has been patiently waiting for you to remember it. That's the spark within. It's the voice that says, there's still something beautiful left for me. When you were young, you believed the world was open, 1,000 doors waiting to be walked through. Somewhere along the way, you learned to close them yourself. Responsibility replaced curiosity. Fear replaced faith. And dreams, they became someday. But here's the secret life never stops whispering. Someday is not a day on the calendar. It's a decision. It's today, if you choose it. That choice doesn't require you to be fearless. It only asks that you be honest. Honest enough to admit what still matters to you. Honest enough to admit what you've been pretending not to want. Honest enough to say, I'm not done yet. Maybe you've always wanted to paint, or learn an instrument, or start a small business, or travel. Or finally write your story, not the one others told about you, but the one that lives in your own words. You don't need permission. You don't need to be the best. You just need to start, because starting at any age is an act of rebellion. It's how you tell the world, I'm still here, and I still matter. There's a myth that passion fades with age. But passion doesn't disappear. It only hides under the dust of unspoken fears and unhealed disappointments. You don't lose it. You simply stop feeding it. And now, this moment, this breath, this is where you begin to feed it again. Start small. Take a walk at sunrise. Write one page. Call someone you miss. Learn something new. Do one thing that makes your heart remember what joy feels like. You don't need to run a marathon. You just need to move toward what lights you up. The world often celebrates youth for its energy, but it forgets that experience holds a different kind of power, one that burns steadier, wiser and stronger. You've known heartbreak and healing. You've seen loss and love, failure and recovery. You've been through storms that younger hearts wouldn't survive. That's your power. That's your fire. Because what age takes in speed, it gives back in depth. And depth is what turns a spark into a flame. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine yourself standing in a field at dusk. The air is soft, the light golden. You hold a small flame in your hands, fragile, flickering. That flame is your spirit. For years, you've protected it from wind and rain, thinking you needed to keep it safe. But flames aren't meant to be hidden. They're meant to burn, and maybe, just maybe, it's time to let that fire breathe again. You might say, but I don't have the energy I once had. That's okay. You don't need the energy of youth. You have the focus of experience. Energy moves mountains. Experience knows which mountain to move, and that's worth more than you realize. You know what matters now. You know that life isn't about being the fastest or the first. It's about being present. It's about waking up each day and choosing to participate in your own existence. That's what the spark within demands. Your attention, your curiosity, your willingness to show up again. For some people, that spark becomes purpose, mentoring someone younger, helping others through what you've already survived. For others, it's rediscovering creativity, dancing, writing, gardening, building. And for many, it's something simpler, learning to love themselves again. After years of giving love away, Whatever form it takes, it starts the same way, when with a whisper that says, try again, not because you failed before, but because now you understand what really matters. You're not starting over from nothing, you're starting over from experience. And that changes everything. You see, there's no expiration date on purpose, no deadline on joy, no age limit on becoming. The spark doesn't care how many birthdays you've had. It only cares that you're still breathing, still capable of choosing. Every time you say, I'll try, that spark grows stronger. Every time you forgive yourself, it burns brighter. Every time you take one small step towards something meaningful, it becomes a flame that lights the path ahead. And maybe that's the miracle of midlife, that the world expects you to slow down. But instead, you awaken. You realize that the story isn't over. You realize that you are both the author and the hero. And heroes never retire. They evolve. So let that spark within remind you, you've already survived your hardest days. You've already done the impossible. You've lived. And if you've come this far, there's nothing stopping you from going further. When the night feels long, remember, every flame began as a spark that refused to die. So feed it, protect it, but most of all, trust it, because that spark within you, the one that still dreams, still hopes, still dares, is proof that your story has just begun. If this word's inspired you, leave a like. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, that it's never too late to start over, share this video. Sometimes, a video like this is exactly what someone needs to take the first step toward a new life. Your time has come, your experiences have value, and your best years are still ahead.